potato, no matter how you pronounce it, there are more than 4,500 varieties. So I got Frankie Flowers with me, I got Chef Randy Feltis with me, and we're going to talk a little bit about potatoes, and then we're going to make a few recipes. But let's start with the varieties, shall we?
Yeah, so many different varieties of potatoes. As you said, there's 4,500. This is a classic, what you would find at your normal grocery store. Of course, there would be your russet, which would be your classic baked potato. Randy there is grabbing the red fingerling potatoes.
These are gorgeous.
For your recipe?
It's my recipe.
Fantastic.
Nice.
We also have the other fingerlings, which are just your whites that are here.
Okay.
If you're wondering about, sometimes you'll hear people say, a new potato.
Yeah, what's a new potato?
So a new potato, when you go to the grocery store, often known as a fresh potato, is that from that season. So right now, in the province of Ontario and right across Canada and the United States, you are seeing the new potatoes, which are usually smaller. These ones here have been pulled at an earlier stage, so this is just a small version of some of the larger.
Yes.
I just want to jump in, and the reason why the farmers like this on the no-spray farms, this is before the potato bugs come out, so they can pull out the new potatoes, they're nice and small, and then they don't have to worry about the bugs killing the plants.
And you brought that up too, so there's a reason too with potato bugs.
Yeah.
So there's a reason why you don't plant tomatoes and potatoes together.
Why is that?
Because they're both from the same family,
Yes.
the deadly nightshade family.
Okay.
Deadly.
And you always remember, plants that sound alike, never plant them together, because if we plant them together, that same disease, that same insect that goes ahead and eats that potato will also eat your tomato. Or that same disease. And many farmers will tell you, don't grow potatoes.
Why?
So they're fun to grow. They are kind of cool, right?
Yeah.
Because they're a tuber. So this is a tuber, which is really a root.
Yeah.
You pull that plant up, you'll find them underneath, so they're fun to grow. But they're really inexpensive. But they're also usually prone to get a lot of disease. They can be a little fussy. They have to be killed. So they're just some. And then, kind of question for you.
Yeah.
What Giselle,
Yeah.
and Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Don't
I've heard of those two.
Yeah. So they don't eat potatoes.
That's why they're so thin?
Why do you think they don't eat potatoes?
Is it because they're carbs?
No, because this is starch and carbs. So it's a
Yeah.
big starch. You know, it's actually very similar in rice and pasta, the same type of starch is there.
They're weird, those two.
Yeah,
they
what
are.
have they done lately?
That's weird. Why would you want to eat a potato?
crazy.
But they won't eat tomatoes as well. Because they will not eat anything from the deadly nightshade family.
So there's something about these nightshade vegetables. Is it an anti-inflammatory type thing? It's that they're trying to stay away from those kind of interesting.
I'm Italian. I have to eat tomatoes.
You have to.
There's no friggin' way
I'm
I'm not.
Irish. I have to eat potatoes. It's a birth thing. It's gotta happen. Yeah, come on.
What the heck are these guys talking about?
It's crazy.
You know what? You don't say no to anything.
I would rather eat a potato than win the Super Bowl. I put that out there. I don't need to do that. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I don't think anything should be completely off the menu. It's everything in moderation, right?
Yeah, but I'll tell you what Tom Brady does eat is sweet potatoes.
Yeah.
So sweet potatoes are actually not from the same family as potatoes. In fact, they're not really a potato. They are a root in itself, similar to a carrot. That's why it has the same color.
Okay.
They're also from the morning glory family.
Oh.
So they're not from the deadly nightshade family, from the morning glory family. And we do know there's many health benefits that will...
sweet potatoes.
For sweet potatoes,
Yeah.
and that's the reason why.
That's very interesting. The deadly nightshade.
Dun, dun, dun.
Deadly evil
Sounds
nightshade.
crazy.
It's like, oh my gosh, it's so dramatic.
Yeah, you go over there and talk to Randy. I'll
Okay, you
some stuff.
got it. Let's talk about potato salad.
Potato salad. I mean, every different way is always incredible and always, I mean, delicious. But what we're going to do is kind of break it down. We're going to make some healthy. We're going to make some crazy. But the number one thing you need to understand, when you're cooking potato, that's your first opportunity to smash in some flavor.
Okay.
So people cook them in water. Don't do that.
Right.
No, that would be
Boring.
like something like Giselle would do. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do that. I've got some vegetable stock here, and then I'm going to smash in some dill, and I've got some garlic here, and that's the first opportunity. What you have to understand is all that flavor is going to punch into the potato. So the potato is going to heat up, and it's going to warm, and it's going to take on that moisture, and all of a sudden, when they're eating your potato salad, they're like, it's delicious on the outside and the inside.
Okay.
And then when you cook them and let them cool down in that liquid too, and it'll suck it in, and you will like rock out your potato salad.
Love it.
So
okay, that's the first good tip.
recipe, yogurt instead of sour cream.
Nice.
Because we want to stay healthy, right?
Yeah.
Dill pickles.
Yeah.
Go heavy with the dill. Double smoked bacon.
Oh my gosh, I wanted a little bit of that before you
Right?
pour it
You
all
can
in.
get in there, yeah, sure.
Thank you.
And then
Greedy,
some
sure.
kick on the Dijon mustard. And keep in mind that these have been cooked in all kinds of goodness.
I
And
like
then you
where
just
potato
get, like,
salad is going these days. I mean, this is a very modern version. Like,
And
it's
this
not
is-
just goo with a few chunks in it.
no goo. It's got to lightly coat it, kind of like this, right? And then these are the red fingerlings, so they're going to have a little bit more sustenance to them. So that yogurt's going to kind of cool off the outside. Hit it with some salt and pepper, and then you know what, Frankie, we just put that in that bowl for me, and I'm going to move
Smells
on.
amazing. You want this?
Yep.
And then, Frankie, I got one more thing for you to top that off with.
Okay, we're going to do some dill or something to make it look pretty.
We got
Yeah.
some chives on top, my
we're
man.
gonna go
A few
chives.
chives. You hitting recipe number 2?
Hitting recipe number 2.
Go for it.
You want to keep everything uniform. All the potatoes have to be the same size. So sometimes if you don't have that luxury and all your potatoes are different sizes, what you need to do is cut them up so they look perfect little cubes. Now this is great too if you got like a 10-year-old or an 8-year-old at home that's working on their knife skills. Just keep them at it, right? And then you're gonna say, well, you're wasting the potatoes, but you know what? Then you fry up the skins and you have potato skins and everyone's happy.
Everyone's
so
happy.
There's no problems there. So now we're gonna go for like a little bit of a higher end kind of feel potato salad.
Nice
Okay.
We're gonna go a
Dijon.
little bit more acidity. So we're gonna go with grainy Dijon.
Artichoke? Are you
Artichoke
Ooh,
heart.
very
Oh,
nice.
everyone's getting excited now. A little
Love
bit
it.
of
Capers. You got a
And
little,
then,
got
you know
a
what?
tang going on.
I went and met my fishmonger, Johnny Fish.
I know Johnny's
You know, and he charged me for this. I'm going to ask him not to do it. He shouldn't have, because, you know.
shouldn't have.
Anyways, he makes a nice smoked fish. So nice
does.
chunky
He does.
smoked salmon.
Yeah.
I mean, you could do the gravlax too, like the lighter stuff, but I
Yeah.
like the chunks in there. And then a little bit of white wine, because everyone likes white wine, and it makes it a little bit more festive. And a little bit of white wine vinegar, just a little.
Ooh, this is a good combo.
Yeah, yeah.
This is
I
a
don't
good
know which
combo.
I like better
Ready?
now.
That's
I mean,
up.
this
And
one's
then
got
this
the
one's gonna
bacon,
go-
this one's got the salmon.
And you know what? If you
just
feel
eat
like
them
it's too
all,
light,
Maybe all.
you just go a little heavier on the mustard like this.
Yeah.
And then you kind of get in there, just give it a stir. But you can tell the potatoes are perfectly cooked
Yeah.
because I cooked them. But no, it's not only because I cooked them, but I watched them and I brought them up slowly. I watched them boil, and then you stand there and you do this because I used to have this on a menu, and if the guys overcooked it, I'd come over and I'd take a bite of it and I'd look at him and be like, that was a lot of work for staff meal, man. And you do that once in your life and you'll never do it again. Frankie,
Yeah, I don't
plate
like
that up, buddy. And then look at garnished a little bit of dill.
Okay, got it.
Okay.
He's a pretty good assistant, you know.
He's very good. He's
pretty
good with
you know.
food.
He's good with everything.
a little chef
So our
himself.
last one, I took
Yeah.
all the potatoes, all the different varieties, and like I mentioned earlier, you want to make sure they're all the same kind of thickness to cook them.
Yep.
So what I did is I punched them through the mandolin, and then it didn't matter if they were like babies or if they were big, and then you see they're all the same kind of texture.
Beautiful.
And then I blanched them in a little bit of apple cider vinegar and chicken stock.
Okay. And chicken stock.
Everyone's getting excited now, right?
You genius.
And I made kind of like a little carpaccio.
Yeah.
Sour
That's
cream,
cute.
put it into like a baggie. Everyone's got a baggie at home because some of us don't have piping
So
bags.
you don't have to have an actual piping bag.
No,
Where's the hole?
I
There
got
it
the
is.
hole here. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna be like, little,
nice job,
Hi, how you
Frankie.
doing?
Not that I'm surprised or anything.
How does it look,
great.
Frankie? Tracy,
I
how's
did
it
it.
look?
I faked it pretty good.
He did amazing,
looking
and
good.
you're doing incredible. So I like it. It's all about the presentation, right? That's
This is all about
beautiful.
the presentation. that down.
You haven't used, what is that you're piping onto it?
Sour cream.
That's sour cream.
That's sour
You didn't
cream. I
actually
went
use
heavy.
mayo in any of your potato salads.
I did
but
not,
It
no.
is what we think of when we think of potato salad, and I feel like we need to sort of give a shout out to just food safety.
Sure.
Because if you're taking that with
Oh,
you on
I
a
know where you're
picnic,
going.
maybe stay away from the mayo, or make sure you put it on ice, right?
I like the yogurt play because number one, it's better for you.
Yeah, it is.
Right? And number
It
two,
is.
it just brings that zing. And then I like the acidity, like the smoked salmon one. I love the acidity. I love a mustard-based kind of vinaigrette kind of feel on that.
Absolutely.
And then, so check these out, Frankie. I actually brought something to stump you today.
Well, I
Okay.
like all the flavors.
It's a type of cucumber.
What
this
is it?
It's a Sicilian cuke, isn't it?
Wow. Okay, never mind.
Three
So,
amazing
it's really not-
salads at cityline.tv. Thanks to